28 Years Later is a sequel to the cult post-apocalyptic horror films 28 Days Later 2002 and 28 Weeks Later 2007. While details about the movie are still limited, based on the franchise's history and current trends, we can expect several key elements. The film will likely continue exploring the theme of a virus that turns people into aggressive, zombie-like creatures. Set 28 years after the original outbreak, the world will probably have undergone significant changes. Expect a focus on the long-term consequences of the virus, how society has adapted or failed to, and how survivors cope with the aftermath. In terms of social and political commentary, we might see more reflections on the collapse of society, inequality, and human nature under extreme circumstances. The previous films often used the zombie outbreak as a metaphor for broader societal issues, and this new installment will likely continue that tradition, potentially exploring the rebuilding or reorganization of society after the apocalypse. Emotionally, 28 Years Later is expected to maintain the intense, suspenseful atmosphere that characterized the earlier films. The horror element will likely delve deeper into the psychological toll on survivors, as well as the physical dangers they face in a world ravaged by the virus. The film has several potential strengths. First, there's a sense of nostalgia for fans of the original films, which could draw a dedicated audience eager to see how the story unfolds. Additionally, the long gap of 28 years allows for the exploration of a radically different world, offering fresh settings and character dynamics that could breathe new life into the franchise. Advances in film technology and special effects also mean we could see impressive visuals of a devastated world, elevating the film's intensity and immersion. However, there are also risks associated with this project. One potential downside is that the film may be too late to resonate with new audiences, as the franchise has been dormant for quite some time. This could make it difficult to capture the attention of younger viewers unfamiliar with the original films. Another challenge is the potential struggle to craft a fresh story. With two previous films covering much of the initial post-apocalypse narrative, finding a unique angle could prove difficult. The risk of relying too heavily on nostalgia might result in a film that feels repetitive or uninspired. There's also the possibility that the movie will not live up to expectations, as we've seen with other long-awaited sequels. Films like Blair Witch and The Matrix Resurrections demonstrated how sequels, after a long hiatus, can fail to live up to the hype, especially when they don't offer anything particularly groundbreaking or innovative. If the filmmakers don't offer something fresh, the movie could be criticized for being formulaic. Lastly, the film might take a more commercial approach, focusing less on the complex social and psychological themes that made the original film stand out. If the movie leans too heavily on action and spectacle, it could lose the depth that made 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later memorable. In conclusion, 28 Years Later has the potential to be a solid continuation of the franchise, but its success depends on how well it balances nostalgia with new, original content. If the film can avoid clicks and offer a fresh perspective while staying true to the themes of the original films, it could succeed. However, if it falls into the trap of relying too much on fan expectations without providing a compelling story, it could risk being a letdown.